She did it. She's really a livestock guardian dog. This is River, our Karakachan livestock guardian dog, and because of her SpotOn collar and months of patience and training, she is officially out all day and all night guarding our livestock and being a silly pup. It's been a long road with River getting her to where we could trust her to be out full time. And I just wanted to take this video and take some time to kind of share how we got here and what it took, what it looks like to train a livestock guardian dog when you just have one. We don't have an older one somewhere. And what it takes when you're new to training a livestock dog. I feel like we've done a decent job and her instincts are good, and it's just a journey. It's not going to look the same for every dog, and it's not the simple throw them in the pasture and hope for the best. So this week we're going to do our journey, what it's been like. She is 2.5 and she's doing great. So we got River as a puppy in May of 2022, and of course she's the little ball of fluff. And so much fun having a puppy around. That's the first time that our family has had a dog, and really only the second dog that even Damien and I have had. And so we knew that she would be a ton of work and a big project to tackle, and that's true, but it is fun looking back over the last 2 years and seeing time really does go by so quickly. The 2 years would have passed whether we had gotten her or not. And I really am so pleased to have her. She's an awesome addition to our farm. But like I have said before in past videos, a dog is definitely the most amount of work you're going to add to your homestead. And so I just wanted to kind of show you what it's taken to get a livestock guardian dog trained and ready to go. And it wasn't easy. So when River was a puppy and she was first here, our main focus was getting her friendly with the kids, getting her used to our farm. We used a leash a lot. We would walk her around and see the animals and be with the animals. But she was really young. You know, puppies are kind of easy for the first little stage when they live outside anyway. Because they get tired, they don't need a lot of energy. But very quickly she turned into the much more energetic puppy. And that's when we first kind of started struggling a little bit, because if I had her on a leash, I could correct her or control her around the other animals. But dogs know when they're on a leash and not on a leash. And so we started to notice she would act differently. It was harder to correct her off leash because she was faster and bigger and could get away from us. And so what kind of ended up happening is that we didn't get her in with the animals as much as we probably should have. That's still a hard stage. I think I would have just used the leash more. The number one focus is to try to get her to be calm. She can't play with the animals or the livestock. She needs to be calm at all times. And so I think I would have done a better job of just using the leash, even though that's not the end goal. I think exposure would have been beneficial. So when she was a few months old, I think between 6 and 7, I'll probably have to flash up her ages because I know the life stages, but I don't know how old she was. We put her in to guard our meat chickens for the first time. We were experiencing some heavy losses from raccoon attacks. And so we put her around them with an electric fence, and she did pretty well, but that was the first time that she had unguarded access. Now again, the chickens were in a Joel Salatin tractor, but after our processing date, there were some hens left in the box, and a miscommunication. We forgot to feed her, and so she helped herself to a chicken dinner that night. And that was really our fault. We should not have left her in there. And she was hungry, and it was chicken processing day, and it was kind of a perfect storm of events. But that was confirmation that we knew that we had to do a lot better job with chicken training, and that has been our biggest struggle with her so far. But as we continued to go, I tried to work with her on a leash. Actually, we have this small dog. It's bigger than a crate, dog pen. Kennel, that's the word. There we go. We have a small dog kennel, and we used that to try to help correct her with a chicken. And I have some footage of that. It did not go super well. And at some point, shortly after this, is when we decided to get our sport dog like e-collar for correction, and that made a huge difference. So I got some advice from my friend who bred River and who has obviously successfully trained livestock guardian dogs in the past. But using that e-collar made a huge difference. I was able to correct her while she was out with the animals and communicate with her that, you know, some behaviors were undesirable, and from there we started to see a huge difference. And so then she entered the teenager puppy stage kind of right around a year, and most of all we were having successes. She would still sometimes play with the animals, but we could correct her with that collar. She would hang out with us. She definitely loves to hang around our family and our kids, and that is actually a huge part of what we wanted, even though that's not technically a traditional livestock guardian role. That's more of just a home guardian role, but she has done really well for us in that capacity. And I really like the Karakachan breed because of her friendliness with kids and her I like that she likes people. And I know sometimes that may not be a good fit for your farm, but it has been one for us. So one of the things really limiting us here on our farm is that we do not have any dog-proof fences. We have this white vinyl horse fence you can see behind us, and then we do have a perimeter field fence, but it is old. It's been in place probably since the 70s or 80s, and it is good in some places and bad in many places. So anyway, it's definitely not dog proof. And so we could work with her on boundaries with the e-collar when we had her out. We always made sure that she respected fences. We do not allow her to go through this vinyl horse fence, even though it kind of, like right here, this is actually our property behind it and in front of it, but we don't let her go through it. We also made sure to always correct her at the edge of our field fences when she was out with us, and mostly she did great. She learned the edge, but there were a few times where we didn't quite pay close enough attention if we were out working, and she would cross that boundary into our neighbors' yards, and it only allowed for when we were with her. Otherwise, she lived full-time in one of our Premier One electric nets, just like most of our other animals do, and that worked well for us. It created a space for her to be loose, and it made it easy for us to be able to move her around the yard, keep her near our animals or wherever we needed her to be. And so that has worked really well, but our goal always was to be able to get her out actually guarding. Sorry, there are flies and things all around me. Our goal was always to get her out so she could be free and actually guard. We wanted her to be able to protect our cats and to be able to protect the chickens kind of just by being here on the farm. And we were kind of stuck as to how to get there until I started doing more research on the GPS fence collars. And so we settled on a SpotOn collar. It has worked super well for us. I have a video showing about how that has been going just a few weeks ago, really. There she goes off to whatever she's doing. So this SpotOn collar has been awesome. It has worked great for us. We did talk about having a mishap in our first video where it fell off of her and I ran it over with our lawnmower, but customer service was awesome. They got me a replacement unit and I trimmed the extra length on the collar like the support person told me to, and it has not fallen off a single time. So it has been 2 months, and it has not fallen off at all. So I think that that was great advice. Make sure you are trimming the extra length off the collar, and if you're having that problem, it shouldn't happen for you any further. But the big step and part of why I'm making this video too, how River graduated, is that she has been able to be out at night. So like I mentioned in my past video, we used the SpotOn collar during the day for a couple of months before we tried it out at night. And I am happy to report that she has been doing awesome at night. In the first week, she cornered 3 different possums and took care of those. And that's super exciting. Possums can be trouble with the chickens, and they were actually starting to terrorize our cats. We had thought that something had gotten in the garage with the cats, but weren't sure. And one of the possums that River cornered was right outside the garage door that has the cat door on it. So that has been awesome. She has taken care of the possums and they don't seem to be coming back. I assume they're smart enough to stay away at this point. And it has been so great having her out at night. She loves it. She hangs out on our front porch and on our back deck and kind of roams the property at night. And it is just so cool to see her have purpose, have her to see her have a job to do and to do it well. And we have really appreciated it. Of course, she does bark a little bit at night, but one awesome thing about the Karakachan breed is that they don't bark a ton. She just barks a few warning barks until things go away. And the only time she goes crazy barking and won't stop is when she actually has something cornered. So that's how we knew about the possums, is she will not stop it. And the possums were very close to our house, and so it woke Damien and I up, and we got out to check on it. And that's been great. So just a few encounters. She did have an encounter with a skunk at some point, but I don't think she got sprayed full on. Hallelujah. So her collar actually smells a little bit like skunk when we bring it into charge, but at this point she doesn't, and I didn't have to give her a bath, so she must have gotten some side spray or something. So she has the sport dog collar on right now while we go do chores, and then her SpotOn collar charges. It charges very quickly, about an hour, if that. I've never really paid attention. It's always been ready when we needed it. And then we just put it back on her and it lasts all night. So River has been doing awesome, but she's not perfect. She's 2.5. Her birthday is March and this is August of 2024. So she's 2.5 and she has done so well. However, the chickens are still an issue. We still have some chicken troubles. Our newest set of laying hens that had previously been in our John Soskovich tractor, we put out in the Premier One netting with all of our other laying hens, but they can still get out. We've clipped their wings. Honestly, chickens are frustrating. So some of them can still get out of that fence, and someone has not killed one. To her credit, she definitely could have. But she was definitely playing with one on 2 different occasions. She did injure a chicken, but she did not kill them. The chickens are still fine. They're alive and well. And I'm not sure how to help that. Thankfully, we were able to catch her, I think both times, and A, stop her, and B, correct her. So we'll just have to see if that comes with age. And you know, that's something that other dogs may not struggle with as much, but the prey drive for chickens is totally different than our other animals. She does not have issues with our other animals. Now, they're not out often. She doesn't have access to them, but her instincts with like the baby goats is totally different than it is with the chickens. So just as a word of warning, don't assume that your livestock guardian dog will be good with chickens. That is definitely not a guarantee. It definitely takes a ton of work, and even though she's so good with everything else, those chickens are still a wild card. At this point, thankfully, I'm just not mad about it. She didn't kill one, so that's awesome, but also I kind of am over it. If she did, I will continue to correct her and continue to work on it, and that's the best we can do, and so we're okay with that. We don't have free-range chickens because of her, but also because free-range chickens are annoying and poop on your porch. So that's how we're working on our farm, and it works for us. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to let you know about how her progression has gone. The e-collar has been huge for us. We actually still use the e-collar on her some. I don't know, I wasn't told I couldn't mention it, but after my last video, SpotOn reached out to me and told me they were beta testing a new feature and gave me access to that, and that has been amazing. So hopefully that will come out on the SpotOn collars soon. The company has been so awesome to work with. I'm not sponsored in any way. Wouldn't that be cool? We bought the collar with our own money, and the free replacement is a company policy that was not special for me. Now they did reach out to give me beta access to a feature on my collar. That just is a feature I can use on my phone. That's super cool. That was a benefit I received for free, but after the fact. I had already made my first video, and this one was just to say that we have tried it at night now. It's been several weeks. She has been doing awesome, and I am so excited to have her out. Look at how happy she is. She just gets to hang out, and it's been super helpful to have her out and about. When male people show up or visitors or strangers, she has done very well, and it just makes it fun. We always talked about wanting a dog that just hung out on the porch and watched out for us, and she does. She hangs out with the kids when they're out, and she's just fun to have. But livestock guardian dog, 2.5 years. 2 years at the minimum is your investment, and I want you to know that going in. They are not, it's not easy. She's definitely the hardest animal on the farm, but she's also one of the most fun. So hope this is helpful. I hope if you are considering a livestock guardian dog or considering using a GPS fence collar on your dog, that this is useful information. And just to give you a realistic view, realistic timeline of what it looks like to raise up a dog for your farm. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.